Welcome. We are about to begin our live yoga asana session, and we'll be over on the Insight Timer app if you'd like to be part of the interactive experience. Hi, friends. Welcome. Hmm. Good evening, Deborah. Wonderful to be together again. It's morning here. Hi, Christine. Welcome. We'll wait about a minute. Hi, Victoria. Welcome. I'm just going to sit down here for a moment. You can see my little bobbling head. Thank you all for being here. All right, well, before we begin, we'll do our little sound test to make sure that you can hear me clearly through the mic that is on my top here. So just checking to see that you can still hear me from back here. Making sure the mic is working clearly. Okay, excellent. Perfect. Thank you. All right, well, let us begin. Oh, I need my clock. Okay. Now ready to begin. Welcome. Welcome. For anyone that I'm meeting for the first time, my name is Selena. I lead live yoga asana sessions on the app each week, as well as a meditation or lecture meditation combined, Dharma talk combined. We are inside of our 5-week series of nurturing and cultivating a relationship with the soul. This coming Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern will be our final of the 5 sessions for anyone who'd like to join. All are welcome, whether you have been there for the previous sessions or not. And we have a group on the app. The group is called Love Heals All. All are very welcome to join, be with us in community. And I think that's about that. So just a few things that I like to say before each of these asana sessions. Some of you have heard this many times, and if anyone is new here, this will be your first time hearing it from me. The physical postures of yoga that many of us think of as yoga itself are only one aspect of yoga, the asanas, A-S-A-N-A-S. These postures that not only help to support, strengthen, nourish the physical body, but also really help to support and enliven the energetic systems of the body. The nadis, we have over 72,000 of these energetic channels running throughout the physicality. The chakras, these energetic vortexes in the body, vortices. So the postures are so powerful for body, mind, spirit, emotions, all of it. And yet they're only one aspect of what yoga is, this beautiful life path. Technically, I don't know if technically is the right word, but eight aspects, the 8-limb path of yoga. So I invite you to learn more about that if this is a new awareness for you. And I always list these sessions as intermediate because I don't take the time to really break down each pose, or I don't always cue certain things, especially when we start moving in our flow. I will say, move into your vinyasa as opposed to breaking down each of the poses. So if yoga asana practice is newer to you, no issue, you're welcome to be here. I just invite everyone to, one, listen to your body, honor your body, And if there's ever a pose or anything that isn't feeling good in your body, or that you don't feel confident or comfortable doing, don't push it. Yeah. Take a resting posture, maybe just watch. There's no reason to stress and strain in this experience. So honor you, take care of you, all parts of you. And something I find really beautiful about when we really take the time to be on the mat, to be in these postures, we have this opportunity to become more self aware, to meet ourselves where we are, to become aware of all of the ways that we are holding on to things, not letting things go, places where whatever it is, maybe we recognize there's been some thought, self-judging thought or blaming thought about something or someone else that has been spinning in our minds. And when we take this time to be more present and really focused on our inner experience, we become more aware of what's happening inside. And when we become more aware, we have the choice and option to meet ourselves with greater compassion, to meet these parts of the mind and emotions and body with greater curiosity and acceptance. All of this can come when we hop on our mat. So I'm going to go back to the mat now. I invite you to have a yoga mat and then any props that you would like to have. Blocks, blankets, straps, double your mat if your mat is really thin and you have to, just really whatever you need to feel comfortable. This is a 60-minute practice, and we always begin the 60 minutes after the introduction. So we will begin our 60 minutes now. Thank you. Thank you again for being here and for sharing your practice in community with me, with each other today. I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. You may wish to sit on a pillow or a bolster or a block, or maybe just tuck something right underneath your tailbone if you're feeling a lot of tension in the hips, or if it's uncomfortable to sit on the ground. Find your way to let it be a little more easeful. We're going to begin today with Analoma Veloma, alternate nostril breathing. Wonderful technique to slow everything down inside, to help balance the hemispheres of the brain, turn on that relaxation response in the nervous system. Normally, I would mirror you, but I invite you to just follow my verbal cues here and use your right hand. I will also be using my right hand. So we'll start with the right hand. Sit tall, allow the chin to be slightly tucked. If you wish, you may like to have the tongue gently touching the roof of the mouth, just behind the upper teeth, and then allow a space between the teeth so the jaw can hang a little and be relaxed here. One other practical reminder, technical reminder here, because I can't see your chats because I'm further away, if there's ever some issue with the sound or something's not working for us as a group, please feel free just to throw a whole bunch of emojis in the chat because I can see that. I'll see your chats, but I won't be able to read them from here. But if I see a bunch of emojis, then I will know it's time to come over to the computer. So thank you for working with me on that. Okay, so we have our tongue position if we wish, jaws relaxed, the chin is slightly tucked so the energy can move freely up and down the spine. The right hand thumb comes to the right nostril. You can have your left hand just resting on your lap with the palm facing up, or if you wish, you can take chin mudra, gently covering the index finger with the thumb. Shoulders are relaxed. Let's cover the right nostril with the thumb, so close it off. Inhale. And then close off the left nostril with the ring and pinky fingers, or maybe just the ring finger, and then exhale through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Close it, exhale left. Inhale left. Close it off, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Continue breathing in this pattern. If you forget the pattern, you can just open your eyes and watch what I'm doing. Otherwise, I invite you to have the eyes closed and really be with this experience of your breath. Long, slow breaths, alternating nostrils. Allow the body to be relaxed. For these last couple of rounds, you may wish to turn your gaze up, looking between the eyebrows toward the first eye, even though the eyes are closed. And then to begin our final round, we inhale through the right side. So go through your cycle so that you can take your full round, starting inhaling through the right, exhaling through the left. Once you've completed that cycle, you can relax your right hand down. We'll take a deep breath in together. Hold the breath for just a moment. Relax the body. And exhale slowly through the nose. Breathe naturally. What is happening in your inner world? Can you consciously slow things down, or at least have a sense of really meeting yourself fully? All parts of you, not just the parts that are easy to see or to accept, but all parts of you. Just maybe welcoming them into this space. Bring your palms to touch at the heart. Set your sankalpa, your intention statement, ideally created in the present tense, as if your intention is already happening. So if your intention is to feel stronger, maybe your sankalpa is, I am strong. Or if your intention is for someone else to be in great health or inner peace, so and so is peaceful, is healthy and vibrant. Create your sankalpa. Mm, beautiful. Release the hands, open the eyes, and make your way onto all fours. Mm, guess that's staying on my mat. Wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Inhale, crown and tailbone lift up, melt the belly and the heart down. Exhale, press into the palms and the knees to lift the spine up toward the sky. Inhale, feel the belly and the heart melting down. Exhale, gently tilt the tailbone under and the chin toward the chest. Continue at a pace that feels good for you. I invite you to take your time. Start getting accustomed to rooting down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. So the weight is distributed more evenly throughout the palms. And also see that the creases of your wrists are parallel to the top of your mat. So we're finding this nice supportive alignment. On your next inhalation, come to a neutral spine. Walk the hands far forward, keep the hips high, melt the heart down. Maybe the forehead comes down, puppy pose. Gently draw the navel toward the spine. And if you have a lot of openness here already and you'd like to increase sensation, you can play with bringing the chin to the mat. As always, though, there's no need to find our maximum stretch, especially at the beginning of practice when the body is still warming up. If you find that your personality is always trying to get to some quote unquote peak pose or always trying to get into the most intense version of a pose, maybe be curious. Why is that? Why do I feel the need to do that? Can I be a little more gentle with myself? Can I back off a little and be curious about my experience? Inhale to rise up, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Reach your left arm up and then swing it over so that your left hand is more in front of your right hand or even a little to the right. Again, keep your hips high, but slink yourself down here. So now we're going a little more deeply into that inner left arm, armpit. Maybe you feel this in the shoulder or the side body. Relax your head and your neck. Breathe deeply. And if you're not feeling much of a stretch, before leaning back, really suction your left hand down. So feel like your left hand is kind of stuck to the mat or to the earth. Inhale to rise up and come back to center. We'll change sides. This time the right arm reaches up and over. That hand kind of suctions in front of the left hand or maybe even a little to the left. Sink yourself back here. Hips stay high, so we're not bringing the hips to the heels. We're getting this nice opening through the right side. Relax the head and the neck. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, come back to that space between the teeth, breathing slowly and deeply. Hmm. Come back up to center. So we're going to wake up a little bit through some plank poses here. If you feel like there's any pain, especially in the back when you're in a plank pose, I invite you and you know it's because maybe you haven't been strengthening the body, you haven't been doing core exercises or planks or anything like that. You can start with your plank poses just with one leg. Really press out through the back heel, hug your navel toward your spine. And just hang out here, just engaging the navel toward the spine, feeling the tailbone reach back and pressing back through the heel will really start to fire things up. So you can really start with the pose like this. We're going to have a few different play options here. So one will be plank on the wrists, yes, and same thing here. We press back through the heels, tailbone's kind of reaching down. We hug the navel toward the spine, press up out of the shoulders. Another option is to come into a forearm toe plank. Interlace the hands if you wish. Elbows are underneath the shoulders, so not too wide here. And again, we find the plank here. And in this one, I really like to press the back of the heart up to the sky. So we're pressing down firmly into the forearm. So choose which plank you'd like. Hug the navel toward the spine. Keep pressing out through the heels. Beautiful. Lower all the way down to the belly. Let's come into Sphinx Pose. So the pubic bone is touching down. The hands are coming directly out from the elbows. Really relax your belly. If this is too much of a back bend for you, you can always walk the hands forward so you come down a little more. And if you're feeling really open, you may wish to actually press down into the forearms to lift a little bit through the upper spine. Relax your glutes. Breathe deeply. Beautiful. We're going to come back up into our plank, and then we're going to play a little bit here. This is a little early for play, but why not? Especially for those of you who are ready for bed, as I know some of you very well are. So as however it works for your body, let's make our way up into a plank. And if you only did one side on your last round, switch legs and do the other side this time. Yes? So we're all going to come to a high plank, and we're either going to stay here or we're going to play a little bit. So if you're staying here, press out through the heels. We'll all press out through the heels. But if you'd like to play, we'll bring left elbow down, right elbow down. Keep that navel hugged in. Press into left palm and right palm. Beautiful. Right elbow down, left elbow down, right palm, left palm. Very nice, friends. One more time, each side. Left, right, left, right. Hug that navel in. Right, left, right, left. Beautiful. Knees down. Come all the way down to the belly. Sphinx pose. And let your body relax here rather than efforting. Let's just let this be a restful pose. You can rock your hips a little side to side. Do you feel a little more something waking up inside? Maybe a little more heat, a little more Shakti, energy, vibrating, tingling, sweat. All right, beautiful. Let's make our way back up to downward facing dog. Plant the palms, tuck the toes under, press yourself up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Hug the navel toward the spine here. So again, rather than really dropping the belly down, some of us have really open hamstrings. So we do this looking for a stretch. And this is how many of us injure ourselves. So hug the navel in and feel that tailbone reaching back so the lumbar spine is long. Bend one knee at a time. Reach the opposite heel back, side to side. Press the heart back toward the thighs. And then again, root down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. Creases of the wrists are parallel to the top of the mat. Beautiful. Bend both knees, really hug the navel in, lower the knees, hover them just a few inches above the mat. Oh, I know, we're really getting into it today. Remember, only do what feels good for you. You don't need to do exactly what I'm doing. Press your heart back, press your hips back. Oh, beautiful. Extend the legs. Bend your knees and walk one step at a time all the way up to the top of the mat. Big toes are parallel. Hug the navel toward the spine. Take opposite elbows. Bend your knees so maybe your belly even rests on your thighs. Let your upper body really hang heavy here. Rock your weight a little forward and back in the feet. Side to side. Find neutral in the feet. Let the upper body hang really heavy. Gently shake the head no and yes. Release the arms. Let the upper body be really heavy. Rock the weight back into your heels. Hug your navel toward your spine. Press into the heels with bent knees. Roll up the spine one vertebra at a time. Really imagine that you're stacking the vertebrae. Beautiful. Take your feet a little wider than the hips. Toes are just slightly turned out so that when you bend the knees move over the toes. Roll the shoulders up and back. Interlace the hands behind the back and maybe begin to straighten the arms. Lift tall through the spine. Hug the navel in. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Hinge forward. Allow your arms to come up and over, and then pull your shoulder blades back as if they were trying to touch. Maybe lift the knuckles even further up and over. Breathe deeply. Keep pulling the shoulders back and away from the ears. Great. Hug the navel toward the spine. Rock the weight in the heels. Press into the heels. Keep the knees bent. Rise up maybe with a flat back. Beautiful. Release the arms. Allow them to kind of float by the sides of the body for a moment. Breathe deeply. Mhm. Bring the feet back toward the midline, either toes touching or feet underneath the hips, whichever position works best for you. Palms touch at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hug the navel toward the spine, flat back. Option to bend the knees. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. Lower down knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, and then come up cobra or urdhva mukha svanasana. So for a cobra, the pubic bone is in contact with the mat. For upward facing dog, the thighs are completely off of the mat and we're reaching the chest forward, pressing into the tops of the feet so we don't really compress the lumbar spine. We'll all come back to downward facing dog. So as we move through our vinyasas, I invite you to choose one or the other. You may wish to alternate, however you wish. This is your practice. And of course, you can skip the vinyasa altogether and just come here to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hug the navel toward the spine. 3 more breaths here. Heart presses back toward thighs. Inner elbows roll forward. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, fingertips to shins, flat back, weight in the toes. Exhale, fold forward. Press into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms wide, lengthen up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Recall your sankalpa. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Option to bend the knees. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back. Lower down. Inhale, Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 slow, deep breaths. Shoulders pull up away from ears. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, flat back, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're just flowing in here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, move through your vinyasa, or just come to downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale the right leg up and back, bend the knee, stack the hips, right toes fall behind. Beautiful. Little play here. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Exhale, bring your right knee all the way to your left elbow. Inhale, up and back. Exhale again, left elbow. This is totally optional, yes, as every pose is. So don't feel like you need to do it, especially if you're still building strength. Left elbow. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale. 1 more time. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, softly step the right foot through between the hands, lower the back knee. Option to have a blanket or something to support your knee if you need it, or just fold the mat over for your left knee. Press your hips forward, hug your navel toward your spine. Bring your hands to your knees. Press yourself up, drop the tailbone down, lengthen navel towards spine, then sink forward here. Ooh, Anjaneyasana. Breathe. Drop the shoulders down. We're going to play a little bit with balance here. However, if you have two blocks, you're more than welcome to have blocks on either side of you here for balance. Reach your arms up, press into the front foot, rise up, extend through the right leg, reach over. Hug the navel toward the spine. So we're really working on back and core strength here. If this feels like there's any strain, hands down, please. Yes? Whether they are on your blocks or maybe on your upper thigh, but no straining here. Inhale, rise up, sink down into your lunge. Shoulders drop down. Inhale, rise up, hinge forward, hug the navel toward the spine, extend back, drop that right hip down. Feel this length through the right hip. Beautiful, friends. Inhale, sink down, lunge one more time. Hands to the upper thigh, or what is that? Lower thigh, toward the knee. Open through the chest. Drop your right hip down. These are really good stretches for anyone who sits a lot. Start to open up the hip flexors so we can release low back tension and so much more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, touch down. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee. Step the right leg back. Lower down knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the left knee. Stack the hips, toes fall behind. And then again, we have some optional play here. You can either, we'll all first extend the left leg and square the hips. And then if you'd like to play, if you're not going to stay here, we'll take a breath in. And then we'll exhale, knee to right elbow. And maybe you just start with one. We're doing 5 of these, yes? Here's our second one. If you know you're building your strength or you just don't feel up for it today, skip it. Maybe just do 1 or 2. That was 3. Last 2. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Beautiful. Warming things up. Inhale. Exhale, softly step left foot through between the hands. Lower the back knee. Again, you can fold your mat over or use a blanket or something if you need that support. Lovely. Hands to the knee. Rise up. Tilt the tailbone down, hug the navel in, find this nice length for the lumbar spine. Then we begin to sink the hips forward. Shoulders relax down. Chin is slightly tucked. Breathe. Relax your face. Maybe even place a hand on your heart. Recall your sankalpa. Okay, wonderful. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, press the hips back, extend through the left leg. Option to have your blocks, hands to the upper thigh, hips, or reaching over here. If you're here, your back muscles and your core muscles must feel strong enough so there's no straining. Chin is slightly tucked. Drop the left hip down, hug the navel toward the spine. Inhale to rise up, press yourself forward. Anjaneyasana. Find yourself in this lunge with that length in the lumbar spine again, yes? How can you meet yourself with kindness? Inhale, reach up. Press the hips back, extend through left leg, drop the left hip down. Choose the arm variation that works best for you. Beautiful. On your next inhalation, rise up, sink forward into your lunge. Drop the shoulders down. You can have your hands on your lower thigh or reaching up. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the arms up if you're not already. Exhale, touch down, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knees, step the left leg back, move through your vinyasa. 3 slow, deep breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hug the navel toward the spine. You can always bend the knees here if there's a lot of tension in the backside body. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Option to bend the knees, press into the feet, hug the navel toward the spine, rise up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. How are we feeling? It's very nice and hot and humid here, per the usual. I'm not complaining. I love it. I'm very grateful. And I'm very grateful to be together. Palms touch at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, move through your vinyasa, or skip it, your choice. All right, we're going to play here again. So big toes touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Let's open here. Let this feel good. Sometimes I like to actually extend this top leg and really reach back through the toe. All of them, not just one. Beautiful. Let's come back to neutral. Square the hips. Extend the right leg. Option to stay here. Or bring your right knee up toward your left elbow and extend your right leg now. Extend it through so you're resting on the outer edge of your right foot. Roll to the inner edge of your left foot. Press into your right hand. Lift the hips. Reach the left arm up. This beautiful open Vashisthasana here. Lift the hips a little higher. And if you wish, you can bring that left arm along the ear. Breathe deeply. You got this. One more breath. Left hand touches down. Extend the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Softly step it through between the hands. Beautiful. Option to lower the back knee or keep it lifted this time. Inhale, crescent lunge. Bend the back knee, tilt the tailbone, hug the navel in. Beautiful. Then begin to extend back through that back leg. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little lower. Inhale. Exhale, hands interlace behind the back, extend through the arms, open the chest, maybe a bit of a back bend here, only if that feels okay on your back and your whole body. Breathe. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale to touch down. Step the right leg back, move through your vinyasa. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's take an extra breath here. Big toes touch. Inhale the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Shoulders pull up away from ears. Square the hips, extend the left leg. Option to stay here or bring the left knee up to the right elbow. Extend the left leg to the outer edge of the left foot. Roll to the inside of the right foot. Press the hips up. Reach the right arm up. Beautiful. And then if you wish, bring that arm over the ear. Keep lifting the hips up. Beautiful, friends. And as you may have found in your own body, sometimes the bottom foot, in this case, the right foot, for me, ends up rooting down the whole sole of the foot. One more breath. Beautiful. Left hand or right hand down, left leg up, three-legged dog. Softly step it through between the hands. Option to lower the back knee here. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Bend the back knee, tilt the tailbone, then begin to extend. Beautiful. Release the hands. This time the opposite thumb is on top. Extend through the arms if you can. Open the chest, maybe back bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, touch down. Step the left leg back. Move through your vinyasa. 3 slow, deep breaths, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, navel in. Exhale, lower. Press into the feet, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, beautiful. Just take a moment here. Bring the feet so they're underneath the hip bones. Big toes are parallel. Drop the shoulders back and down. Micro bend in the knees. Crown of the head lifts up to Tadasana. Allow your gaze, your drishti to be focused on one spot. Slow your breathing down. Recall your sankalpa and gently repeat it to yourself. Beautiful. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. We're going to open a little bit into the inner legs. Hands to the hips, bring your right foot forward, and then swing it all the way back behind you and turn your hips toward the right side of the mat. Hips and toes are all turned toward the right. So we're facing the right side of the mat now with a nice wide stance. You really want your stance to be very wide here. I have a big Manduka mat, not one of the extra long ones, but I have a long mat here, yes. And I'm 5'10", and you can see that I'm almost the width of my mat. So nice wide stance for your body. Toes are slightly turned out so that now if we were to press the thighs open, the knees would actually be moving in the same direction as the toes. So we don't want anything like this. Yes, that's not a good thing to do for our beautiful bodies. Yes, so the knees are moving in the same direction as the toes. Nice wide stance here. And you might find as we move into this pose that you need to adjust your foot or both of your feet. Please feel free to do that. We want this to feel really comfortable and supportive in the joints. We're going to be bending low into the legs. So if you know that squats or things like this don't work well for your body, or if you have any hip, knee, ankle, any kind of joint stuff in the lower body, feel free to just skip this one. Yes, because we're going to be going low here. So bring your hands over to your right leg, your right thigh, and begin to bend into that right leg, extending through the left, and come down as low as it feels comfortable for you. So for some of us, we're going to be up here. no issue. For some of us, it's safe and comfortable to come all the way down. So if that's you, just be wherever you are, actually, whoever you are. Yes, and if you're here and you feel balanced, you may wish to bring the palms to touch at the heart. Hug the navel toward the spine. Feel your tailbone gently dropping down. Chin is slightly tucked. Breathe deeply. The inner thighs, for so many of us, hold so much tension, and we're often not even aware of it. And many of us are good about doing things like lunges or different poses to stretch the hamstrings, but we may forget to come to these abductors and adductors and any of the musculature that's here in the inner thighs. This is really important for our low back and pelvis health for this to be more relaxed. Wonderful. We're going to transition in just a moment here. As we move to the other side, you're welcome to press your hands down into the earth to lift yourself up. Or if you want to kind of play with your strength here, we'll start by bringing that opposite foot down. Press firmly into that right leg to come over to the other side. Yes, so we didn't use the hands. So a little play there if you want to. Hands come over to the left thigh, and then we'll sink down into that leg only as far as it feels good for you. And then again, if you're balanced and comfortable here, you may wish to bring the hands to the heart. Chin is slightly tucked. You may have a very clear sense of which side is tighter. I can feel it. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath here. Very nice. And if you want to play with the strength, we'll make sure we're balanced out. So bring that, what is that? Your right foot down, press into your legs, rise up. Oh, I feel that one. Give a little shake it out. And then we're going to gracefully make our way down to the floor. So I'm going to heel my toes, heel toe my feet in a little closer, and then make my way down. Beautiful, beautiful. Take a moment and just notice what you're feeling inside. Not just physically, but maybe emotionally as well. Is there a sense of movement and flow? Is there a sense of resistance? I remember once I made a comment to my dear friend that I had, a really big cry during yoga asana. And she was like, wow, I never cry during yoga. And I still think about it sometimes actually, because one of the number one places I will cry is in yoga, because those places inside where emotional energy is being locked gets or blocked, gets unblocked when I move into my asanas. The energy starts to move. So if you ever find that your asana practice is somewhat emotional, you're not alone. I'm sorry. I know I'm pretty corny sometimes. I can blame my dad for it. He's the most wonderful, loving, awesome, corny entertainer. And I learned from the best. All right, my loves, let's come on to the back. We're going to move into some back bending here. We've spent a lot of time opening up the hips and the shoulders. We're going to start with bridge pose. If you're unfamiliar with any of these back bends, please watch first. We never want to be in a pose where we have weight on the neck and then we turn our head to look. We always want the head to be just up at the ceiling so there's no strain in our precious, delicate necks. On your back, see if you can adjust your feet, excuse me, so that your middle fingers just brush your heels. Now, this won't be possible for all of us. It's okay. We have different bodies, but the feet are about hip distance apart, and then we want them if possible, to be heels brushing the middle fingers. Let's turn the toes in slightly here. And whenever we come up into our back bends, rather than letting the knees splay really wide, see if you can kind of keep them nice and aligned toward the midline. Press your low back down into the mat. Feel how your tailbone starts to lift up already. Head stays looking up at the sky. My teacher training instructor many years ago, he made us repeat whenever we did shoulder stands or anything where there was weight on the neck. He would make us say over and over, I love my neck. So I invite you to say that now. I love my neck, and keep that in your awareness. Gaze is up at the ceiling. Low back really presses down, tailbone lifts up, arms are alongside the body. Press into your feet to curl the spine up off the floor. Low back, middle back, upper back. And then option to stay here or interlace the hands and then tuck the shoulders underneath you to lift through the chest a little higher. Press yourself up even more, really press into the feet, lift the belly and the chest, and then relax the glutes while maintaining the lift. Breathe deeply. Setubandha Sarvangasana. Bridge. We're creating this bridge. Lift a little higher if you can. Relax the glutes. Beautiful. When you're ready, if your shoulders are under, untuck them, release the hands. Slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Knees fall in toward each other, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Feel your whole body relaxing down into the earth. Close your eyes if you wish. Where can you let go? Beautiful. So our next round, I invite you to choose bridge pose again if you're even choosing a back bend today. If you're feeling ready for full wheel, I'll guide us into full wheel. So let's all start by getting our same foot posture. So the feet are about hip distance apart. And then if possible, we're looking for a nice alignment where the heels, where the middle fingers are just brushing the backs of the heels. Now, again, that may not be your body, so just find something that feels good and safe for you. Toes turn in a little bit toward the midline. Again, if you're choosing bridge pose, you press the back down, press into the feet to roll up through the spine. Head is always looking up toward the sky, and then tuck the shoulders under as you wish. For our full wheel pose here, arms reach up, oops, sorry, sweet plant, along the ears, palms up toward the sky. If you've never done this before, please definitely watch and only do it if you feel safe to try it. It's one thing about not having sessions in person. Yes. So the palms are facing up toward the sky. Bend your elbows up toward the ceiling and then place your palms down so that your fingers are now pointing down toward your feet. So the fingers are pointing down toward the shoulders and the feet. From here, press yourself up onto your upper back and then press into your hands to come up onto the top of the head first, and then adjust your arm position so the fingers are really pointing down toward the shoulders. Then, if you feel comfortable to, press into the palms to lift yourself up, straighten the arms as much as you can. We'll take maybe 5 breaths here or so. Relax the head and the neck. Make sure to come back down the same way you came up. Now, option to come down all together, or we'll take one more round. We'll come down to the head. Keep the hands where they are, or if you feel to, walk your hands even a little closer to your shoulders to deepen the stretch, only if that feels good. And then press yourself back up, 5 breaths. When you're ready to come down onto the top of the head first. Slowly roll down onto the upper back. Lengthen yourself. Come all the way down. I like to kind of shimmy so that I can elongate the backside of the body. Knees fall in toward each other, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Close your eyes. What's happening inside? Just feel it. Be the witness. And if you find that the judgmental mind is really active, you might try just meeting it with kindness. Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling this way. I'm sorry you feel the need to beat me up. I'm sorry you feel the need to judge others. I'm sorry you're hurting. I'm sorry and I love you. I love you and I accept you just as you are. Just as you are. I'm learning to love you. I'm learning to accept you. And I'm so grateful for you. Slowly bring the heels, or excuse me, the inner feet together, if possible. We all have different bodies. Bring the feet in close. Cross the left leg over the right knee. Arms are alongside the body. And if for some reason this feels uncomfortable for you, you can just have the legs uncrossed and side by side. Press into your right foot to lift your hips up and over to the left a little bit here. Take your arms out to a T or cactus them if you need more, don't have enough space. Allow the knees to fall over to the right. See if you can keep your left shoulder rooted. Turn your chin toward your left shoulder and breathe. Relax the face and the jaw. One more slow, deep breath in the twist. Slowly come back to center. Uncross the left leg. Press into the feet to lift the hips up and over to the right a little this time. Cross your right leg over your left. And then allow the knees to fall over to the left. Keep the right shoulder rooted if possible. Turn your chin toward your right shoulder. Maybe allow the corners of your mouth to lift. Can you give yourself a sweet smile right now? Even if you don't really feel like smiling, can you choose to send this loving gesture toward yourself? One more slow, deep breath. Slowly come back to center. Uncross the legs, plant the feet, lift the hips up, and then place them back in a neutral feeling position. We'll take 1 minute for yogi's choice before we take Shavasana. So If there's any posture your body feels like it needs, maybe a few breaths in a piriformis glute stretch, or maybe you have an inversion you'd like to take, or maybe you're just ready for Shavasana. We'll just take this next minute to give your body whatever it needs. Maybe take happy baby with me if you wish, by taking a hold of the outer shins or the outer edges of the feet and allowing the knees to splay wide. If your pose requires two sides, change sides. We'll make our way into Shavasana, our final pose. Take the legs down the mat, feet wide. Allow the toes to fall out to the sides. Arms alongside the body with some space between the arms and the torso, palms face upward. Chin is slightly tucked. Make any little adjustments that you need to feel comfortable, and I invite you to choose stillness. Close your eyes. Many of us live constantly reacting to sensations and thoughts. If we have an itch, we immediately need to itch it. If we have an agitating thought, we immediately reach for our phone or send an email or exercise or drink or smoke or call a friend. We have this nature to be very reactive to sensation and thought. When we come into Shavasana, we have this beautiful opportunity to allow all of that to just be, to practice being the observer, the self who is not the experience, but is able to witness it. We notice sensation and it passes. We notice thoughts and they pass. We are the still, silent witness. And as much as possible, allow the body to be relaxed. Sometimes we become more rigid when we think of being still, so allow it to be this ease in the stillness. Open, receptive to your own beloved light, your own beloved self. I invite you to stay here for as long as you like. If you're ready to complete, very slowly move the fingers and toes. Take some deeper breaths. Inhale, reach your arms up by your ears. Long stretch. Exhale through the mouth. Bend your knees. Gracefully roll over onto one side. And take a moment here to just allow yourself to be held. And when you're ready, use your hands to come up to a seat with the eyes closed. Place your palms over your heart. Just hold your beautiful heart for a moment and offer yourself gratitude. You're so beautiful. Palms touch at the heart. We will complete with our closing chant. All are welcome to join. The chant is Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and peaceful and free in all of creation. Inhale. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I'm so grateful for our time together. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for supporting me. Wonderful. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So glad. Thank you. Our next session, I think, double check actually. My precious papa is visiting, so I might have changed our schedule a little next week. So let's see what I scheduled. And for anyone who doesn't know, you can always find all of my sessions, my lives listed on my profile page. So if you're ever wondering, hi Neil, hi Ola, you're ever wondering when they are, so 17th and 19th, I think that's next Wednesday and Friday, right? Um, yeah. So we're here for our regular scheduled broadcasting. Next Wednesday, we'll be here for our final uh, Cultivate a Relationship with Your Soul series, although that's always what we're doing in our sessions. The specific series on that completes next Wednesday. And we'll be here again for our yoga asana practice next Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So thank you. I'll hang out for just a moment in case anyone has any last thoughts or questions or anything you'd like to share. As a reminder, we do have our wonderful group on the app if you'd like to come be part of this very loving community. The group is called Love Heals All. Amy, I'm seeing your question now. It's not. It's actually you can't fully see it because of the lighting, but those, no, you really can't see it. Those are, come on, hand, do it. Those are mountains. Those are mountains. And no, not an ocean. Not an ocean right outside, but mountains. Yes, so blessed. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Sweet dreams. Drink water, nourish your beautiful, beautiful body, and we'll be together again soon. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you so.